It was good as chilling and seeing I'm back with another video. And for this video, I really just want to talk about creation. The beauty and the divinity of creation, as we are all the very essence of creation. Creation is the free flowing expression of divinity in its purest form, and that is exactly who we are. And the first thing I want to talk about is that creation isn't about owning. It isn't about possession over what you are creating. It's about truly expressing yourself in the purest essence and the purest extent of who you are. Not creating something in order to be claimed, but creating something in order for it to be experienced, for it to be felt, for it to be seen, and for you to be seen, for you to put yourself out there and allow other people to experience you. Not being what I would say closed off to society, putting yourself out there and just expressing yourself in your truth and in your most authentic form. And I find this to be very beautiful because we are the very essence of this definition of creation. We are all results of creation, of creativity, and of beauty, of divinity. There is something very divine within the creation of us all, and it's what keeps us united, and that is love. Love is a very unification of creation. It allows us to connect with each other, to see how others express themselves, feel it deeply, and also just connect with it on a deeper level. Love is always the translucent, divine thread just wielding us together, keeping us standing up straight. It's allowing us to flow in life and allowing us to be ourselves. And when it truly is tapped into the highest level, to the fullest extent, past any physical limitations, it is the most beautiful thing within the universe. Unconditional love within yourself, the unconditional love within the artistic expression of your life. You gotta understand that art does not discriminate. Art does not take on just one form. Art is everything within our life. Art is our experience within our life. Art is the very essence of who we are, because each and every day we are emitting and illustrating and illuminating a beautiful painting on a blank canvas. When we start off on this world, our life is like a blank canvas, but with every experience, with every decision that we make, we are actively contributing to this beautiful, vivid painting that we will never complete. This is going to be one of the most incomplete paintings that you will ever have within your life, because there is never a moment within your life where you will fully be done with it. You will never be fully done with the experience, and even after you leave this physical realm, everything is spiritual, and it's a never-ending eternal process. It's an eternal process of unconditional love and learning to love yourself in every form, in every state of being, in every state of mind, and every consciousness level that you have ever appeared at. This is a beautiful thing, because not only will this forever be an ongoing painting, but it's not going to be something that you could just finish real quick. It's not going to be something that you could just put little effort into and create something beautiful. You actively have to make an intent to make a beautiful painting. It's not about wanting it to just be beautiful, but it's about wanting to experience the creation of your own creation in the fullest form. And art is free flowing. Art does not take on any form. Art is just a free flowing expression. It does not have any limitations, because we are art. Art was never meant to be anything like anyone else's. It was meant to be authentic. It was meant to be authentic in its purest form. And that's exactly what art is: authenticity. When you make a creation, you're not doing it to be like another person. You're doing it to be like yourself. You're removing all illusions. You're removing all facades, all masks, and just truly allowing yourself to be vulnerable and put yourself in the most vulnerable state, which is creating. You gotta understand that it is so important that you create, because what's life without creation? We wouldn't be here without creation, because creation is the very essence of who we are. So what's the use if we're not creating it within every point within our life? And I'm not saying create to just live in an ongoing cycle of grinding and creating to live or survive. I'm saying create to just express your soul in its truest extent. Stop thinking that you just have to survive within life when you can thrive within life, when you can truly live the life that is truly for you. You don't have to be in a survivalistic mindset. You can be in a free-flowing mindset, in a mindset of someone who is a light bearer, who is actively paving the way for yourself and for others with the stuff that you create within your life. And this is just beautiful. And this is something that we gotta love about ourselves, something that we gotta value and understand that creation will always be the free flowing divine expression of life. And the moment that we stop creating, the moment that we get rid of our creative expression, is when we truly go through a soul death. That's when we lose everything that was meant for us. That's when we go on a detour within our life, because ultimately we came here to create. And that's the beautiful thing of it. But when you turn your back on yourself, when you turn your back on creation, that's when everything will be turned against you. You know, that's when everything is going to start to mirror your actions. That's when everything is going to start to mirror your perspectives, the type of life that you give off, and the type of mindset that you give off, reverting back to abandonment issues, reverting back to your traumas, and just neglecting yourself because you have been neglected by others, which is all a result of the life that we truly wanted for ourselves. You know, not to be neglected by others, but to go through these so we can know how to better accommodate ourselves, so that we know how to love ourselves and perform for ourselves in the best way. You know, to be an active participant within our life, but also to just be the very essence of creation. So you got to understand that creation is the very essence of life. And this is your life to create. You know, you don't have to be stuck to one form of creating. It's about just branching into as much as you can and branching to whatever your soul resonates with. You know, don't never block yourself off of creating, because creating is you. Creating is essentially you. So if you block yourself off from creating, you're neglecting an aspect about yourself. You're neglecting an aspect about yourself, and you're neglecting your ability to branch into new things, to explore new things. You gotta always keep yourself open to every infinite possibility, and don't just number yourself down to one possibility, because as much you if you have so much options, you will be able to do as much as you want. You know, if you just narrow it down to one thing can get boring over time. And I'm not saying that art is boring, but your expression will never be able to increase. It will never be able to get to a higher level, to perform at the ability and your infinite capacity that you give yourself. So understand that art is the free flowing expression of divinity, and art was not for you to just keep it to yourself. It's for the world to see. It's for the world to experience. You know, don't be so selfish of just keeping everything to yourself, and allow yourself to be experienced. Allow yourself to be loved. Allow yourself to be seen, because your art is truly beautiful. You are authentic. You are beautiful. And if you're seeing this video, allow yourself to be seen, because you are making an impact within your life. And it's time for you to make an impact within this world by displaying your art, displaying who you really are, displaying your truest essence of yourself. So just allow yourself to create art and express it towards whoever wants to see it. Peace.